All right, we got 4 more to go. Let's hear how it sounds. Go ahead, Mike.
Are you okay over there, Hilary?
Yes.
Okay, you can do it. I think I'm not looking at the scores right now, but I think you're both doing well.
Yes, you are.
Okay, here we go.
You're doing very well right now.
Hello, and welcome to episode 150 of Rhythm Encounter, the RPG fan music podcast. I am your host, Mike Salbato, and wow, we're at episode 150. This is really exciting.
Yay!
You know, hello. Okay, I guess I'll introduce my panel now. We have a smaller panel today, but as usual, I have 3 people with me, although we're not doing anything as usual today. So first of all, who you just heard, Hilary is here.
Hi, yay for episode 150.
Yeah, it's a milestone, huh? Gio is here with us as well.
Hello. Never thought I'd be here ever.
Like, you mean like this episode, or?
Oh, I mean,
that took a turn at the end.
No. I mean, like, context. I used to be just like a listener, and then now I'm here.
Oh, okay.
150th episode.
You're one of my favorite panelists on the show, which I think I tell you every time you're on, but you always bring such interesting songs. So
thank you very much.
Yeah. And finally, Pat is here with us because how could we do a big special music episode without our biggest music person on the site?
Yay.
The music nerd is here,
Thank
and today
you, Pat.
I am the mastermind.
That is true. So what we're doing today, I'm sure our episode is called like Quiz Show or something, so you probably figured it out. But hey, we're doing a quiz show today. Solosi hosts Retro Encounter, which is a podcast you are probably more familiar with than ours. But one of the recurring things on Retro Encounter is a series of quiz show episodes. And he puts so much into them, and they are so great. And Pat, you had the idea. It's like, why don't we try to adapt that to a music episode? And then you did.
Yeah, I was on the most recent episode, Quiz Show 6, which was a Clash of Champions, the winners from the last 5, and I did horribly, 4th place out of 5. But I loved it so much, even though I wasn't doing great, that I was like, we should do this on Rhythm Encounter. So I reached out to Solosi and I was like, can I do this? How do you do it? Looked at his spreadsheet for scoring, all of that.
Oh,
because he's a genius and I love him.
Oh, absolutely. So I made sure even to run the questions by Solosi for this, because I wanted not his blessing exactly, but he is so good at this. I'm like, no, I can't do this, even though he's not on the episode. I'm like, we have to get his take on this. And he offered some suggestions that, of course, that helped streamline some things. And we have a better show than we would have otherwise. So it was a big collaborative effort between Pat and Solosi and a little bit of me. Pat and I worked on the final details, but mostly it was Pat. So I'm excited about this. I think we have some fun rounds and questions here. And so the way we're going to do it is I am here as the host. Pat is here as the question giver, and Hilary and Gio are our contestants. We were originally supposed to have 3 panelists. So I hope it doesn't make you guys feel any more pressured being just head to head now. But
terrified contestants. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know. I mean, it's on one hand, yes, it's more like it's 1 versus 1, but on the other hand, there's less competition. So
it's low pressure. It's low pressure. Until it gets real competitive, then we can make it high pressure.
Yeah,
but for now, low pressure.
We're not even going to tell you about the cash prize. So there isn't pressure in getting it right. All right. So I'm excited for this. We probably should also get into it because I don't know how long this will be, but I don't want to keep anyone, panelists or listeners, here for too long. But also, I'm just really excited to get started. So what we're doing is we're going to have 5 rounds, and there's maybe a special round at the end of that. We're going to introduce what the rounds are. The scoring is a little bit different for each round, but we're going to explain that to everyone listening. Of course, you can feel free to play along.
Yeah, really encourage everyone listening to play along.
Yeah. I think we have some fun ones here. So yeah, so let's get started. So I'll be introducing the rounds, and then Pat, you're going to actually be reading out the questions for everyone, and then we'll listen to the samples and go from there. Everyone will get their guesses in. So, is everyone ready?
Yeah, ready as I'll ever be.
If this intro goes on too long, you guys are going to be even more nervous. So that's another reason to keep going, right? So, all right, round 1, we're calling Better Together. So for this category, the music is composed and created by game music teams. And how the scoring works is that we have 4 questions here. And then anyone who guesses the game title right gets a point. And there are bonus points for guessing the composing team name. And then another half-point bonus for guessing the song title specifically. So theoretically, up to 2 points per question. But the main thing we're looking for is just the game title that each clip is from.
Okay. Does everyone follow?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's game title, sound team, song title are the potentials.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
And real quick, there's no penalty for being wrong. And so, like, please, even if you think, like, especially for song title, if you're like, I think it's this song, but I feel silly guessing the wrong title. No, there's no minus points. So, like, guess away, but only one guess each.
That's fair. Because if we gave them unlimited guesses, then it'd be a little bit of a different story, wouldn't it?
Tifa's theme, Barrett's theme, Aerith's theme.
I'll get it eventually. Yeah. All right. Also, that would not happen with Hilary and Geo. They would absolutely know.
Yeah, they would know
those characters.
Yeah.
And we send it to Pat, right?
Yes, send them to me.
Yeah.
And after the music's done playing, I'll announce, what the answer was and who got it right and who didn't.
Okay.
Yay!
Well, you're still, again, no negative points.
Yeah.
All right. When you're ready, Pat, then why don't you read the first question, and when you're done, I will play the clip.
All right. Here's our first track. This long-running sound team has 3 letters at the end of its name. To this day, no one knows what those letters stand for. The particular song you're about to hear serves as the opening theme to one of the company's oldest games in existence, and one that has seen its fair share of remakes. Let's go! All right, let's see how we did. All right, it looks like we got at least partial knowledge from everyone. All right, yes, great. So this is technically from East 2, but East 1 and 2 are packaged almost always as a combined product. So I was willing to take East or East 2 for this one. This is the intro track from East 2 to make the end of battle, and that 3-letter name, it's Falcom Sound Team JDK. And yes, no one knows what JDK stands for, which is a lot of fun. So, it looks like both of you get 1.5 points. Nobody knew the song title, which is totally fair. That's a tough one to know. But good job to both of you for knowing that it's East and it's JDK.
Woo.
Very cool, very cool. See, we're doing great.
Go us!
Go Hilary.
All right, you ready for the next one?
Yeah, we're ready.
I also just need everyone to know really quickly that I'm doing this on my phone, and my phone corrected Falcom Sound Team JDK to Falcom Sound Team IDK.
Yeah, I saw that and assumed that was...
That's beautiful. That's so good for this
Sound Team,
episode.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's
I
this.
don't know, whatever.
I think that's the title of the episode. I think that's the title.
Yes!
Falcom Sound Team IDK.
IDK.
Beautiful.
I like
Let's
it.
do it.
That's good.
Okay. Well, I don't want to commit to it yet. We have so many more questions. Something even funnier
that's
might
true.
happen.
Yeah, but I like that. That's good.
Oh boy. All right.
That's good.
All right, go
ready
for it,
for the
Pat.
next one? All right, the battle theme that you're about to hear comes from a sound team best known for their work on this Nintendo exclusive trilogy of epic long-form RPGs. Name that game. Name that song. Name that team. Best of luck. All right, I got an answer in from Gio, and
Gio probably typed his answer as soon as you
Hilary.
said Nintendo, like in the middle of your question.
Yeah, Gio, this one
Honestly,
might have been written for you. This one might have been written for you, Gio. Definitely knew that you're a fan of this one.
I will just admit it.
You don't know?
Mm-mm.
We're going with an IDK. That's not a problem. All right, so Gio got all 2 points. He got the correct answer. This is from Xenoblade Chronicles. The sound team is Ace or Ace Plus, technically. And the song is You Will Know Our Names. So good job to Gio. And hey, that's all right, Hilary. Better luck next time. And are we ready for the next one?
Yep.
All right, here we go. This prolific sound team, led by Hitoshi Sakimoto, has worked with many dev teams including Sega, Square Enix, Cave, and Vanillaware. The song we're about to hear happens to be from a Vanillaware title. Do you know which one? All right, that was a good one. Okay, I think we got a 1.5 from one of our contestants. And let's see how things are looking with our other contestant. Are you going to guess the sound team, Hilary?
I really should know it. I knew it when we did the composer episode.
Okay, so that's A-okay. So the correct answer was Odin Sphere. That is the Vanillaware title we were hearing.
That was my second guess.
The sound team led by Hitoshi Sakimoto is Bass Escape. They've worked on with many companies on many projects. And then the song title, didn't expect anyone to get this one because it's sort of a deep cut on the Odin Sphere soundtrack, but it's Battle in Elrit Forest. It's one of my favorites, so that's why I picked it. But Gio, you got the game and the sound team right. Hilary guessed Unicorn Overlord, which was a fair guess. That's their newest project. And yeah, I recently listened to the soundtrack, and I think we have a review incoming on that. But I went older. I went Odin Sphere on this one.
That was my second guess. Unicorn Overlord.
Yeah, right. I feel like that was sort of an either or with Vanillaware.
I cannot believe Bass Escape escaped me.
It Bass escaped you.
It Bass escaped me.
Well, we should be giving you points for the puns at this point. We got IDK, Bass Escape.
It's so much different though. Like it's so easy to like know something, and then like once you have the pressure of like being asked in this context, it's like, oh, I forgot that thing that I know.
Yeah.
Now
this last one that we're going to do for the first section is worth double the points because we think it's harder than the last few. So, we ready for this one?
Yep.
All right, here we go. The hint is Chris Gann leads this indie team based in Northern Ireland. His team wrote the following song, which features Laura Shigihara singing as the character Lauren, lead singer of a rock band. Lauren joins protagonist Alyssa LaSalle and others in this spacefaring adventure. Good luck! And that comes from the cut scene of one of my favorite games of the last decade. And that game is Cosmic Star Heroine, which Gio, good job getting that. And the team is Hyperduck Soundworks, which both of you got. Congratulations.
Hooray!
Hyperduck represent. I actually just saw recently that Breath of Death 7 remake, another Zeboyd title, one of their earliest sort of indie games, the remade soundtrack is also Hyperduck, which I'm very excited about. The song is called Talk Back. It also has a Japanese name that I didn't write down. But yeah, they did this cool cutscene in the game where this character, Lauren, which is sort of like Laura Shigihara, is like leading this band in this sort of like underground garage scene, just rocking out. And it's fun to watch and fun to listen to. It's one of my favorite parts of that whole game. So, yes, Cosmic Star Heroine. The song is Talk Back. And yeah, so Gio, you got 3 points on that one because it's worth double. And Hilary, you got 1 because you knew it was Hyperduck. All right, so we've reached the end of round 1. Currently, our running totals are Gio. You are nailing it. You have 8 points already out of a highest possible total of 10, which is insane.
Wow, awesome.
And
Wow.
Hilary, you're at 2.5.
Yeah.
That's all right. We asked many more questions than this. These are only the first 4. We got a lot more to go, a lot more game. So, Mike, you ready to tell them about round 2?
Is this round 2 title, is this a reference to something, or is it just you being cute? Because I feel like it's a reference or a lyric or something, but I don't actually know. Is it just you being cute?
This one's for the girls, or this one's from the ladies, is from a movie, but I can't remember which one.
Okay, all right. Because it's like, it's a phrase I've heard, but I'm like, I can't pinpoint exactly where. It's just like one of those things you hear. Okay, cool. Anyway, yes, all right. Well, round 2 is This One's for the Girls, although now I'm realizing it maybe should have been from the girls, but that's okay. So in this category, every song is from a female composer. Once again, the goal is to guess the game title, and once again, we have half-point bonuses for composer and song title, but the key one is getting the game title.
Okay.
How you guys feeling about this one?
Ooh, that's not
It's
my
the
forte.
ladies. Do we know our ladies?
I know a few.
There's a lot of great women composers on the scene, and let's see, how many you guys know about. A lot of these folks we have done. I don't know if every one of them, but a lot of them we've done Rhythm Encounter like spotlight episodes on these individuals. So
yeah,
I'd say half of them at least. So keep an eye and an ear out for that. One of these people's been interviewed, I think, in fact. But we'll get into it. All right, first one. This composer got her start with Capcom, but switched to Square in the early 90s before cutting ties there and going entirely freelance in the 2000s. The song you're about to hear comes from her first project with Square. Here we go. Oh my goodness. This was a clean sweep. Everyone knew it.
Yeah,
that song
I had a feeling.
That song is one of my all-time favorites. And after the HD2D remake, I think a lot more people have become familiar with it. That, of course, is Megalomania by Yoko Shimomura from, I think it's technically pronounced Live Alive, but I still say Live Alive because my brain is broken. But yeah, that is... for some people might know, Yoko Shimomura did some early work with Capcom. She did some of the first Breath of Fire, and it was left sort of uncredited for decades. And she also worked on Street Fighter 2.
Yeah.
And then boom, when she hopped train from Capcom to Square, her very first project was that fine game with that fine song. So good job, both of you knowing this one. Hey, bonus question, not worth any points. Who took the track name Megalomania and turned it into something very similar? Does anyone know this one? You can say it. You don't have to type it.
Toby Fox.
Fox,
yeah. The Undertale song Megalovania. That the idea for naming the song that came partially from his love of this song. He stated in interviews. So that's very cool. All right, next one up. Here we go. This composer broke through with the spaghetti western stylings of this classic PlayStation RPG. though she would later take a break from composing from this prolific series. Good luck! Okay. Did everyone get their answers in?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. So both of you knew the game. It is indeed Wild Arms, the very first Wild Arms. And the composer's name is Michiko Naruke, which Gio knew, so congratulations. The song title was Lone Bird in the Shire, which I believe is the world map music. Hilary, you went with Into the Wilderness, which is the intro music. And we intentionally, Mike and I intentionally pulled Into the Wilderness because we thought it was too easy.
Yeah, nope.
I'm sorry.
Completed the team. Oh, that's fine.
It's one of those games, though, where like even I don't know most of the song names.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know any song name from.
No, I mostly know the intro. Like I think I would have blanked on this one too. But it's still good though. Like every time, even when we were like preparing for this episode, like I just hear like these 15 seconds. I'm like, well, I have to go listen to the whole soundtrack now.
Yeah.
I never
It's
get tired
such
of
a
it.
crazy good soundtrack.
Yeah.
Yeah, I stand by the first two as some of the best PS1 music out there.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going with another fantastic composer, and yeah, oh, I love her so much. Here we go. This composer had a series of jazzy avant-garde soundtracks with Square, including Bahamut Lagoon and Racing Lagoon. After composing for the soundtrack for this game, however, she retired from composing altogether, though her husband, Takahito Eguchi, still writes the occasional soundtrack. Here we go. So the composer is Noriko Matsueda, one of my personal favorites. She worked with Shimomura on Front Mission. I didn't say that in the hint, but that's another of her many works. She did stop doing game music altogether after 10-2. She said she was burnt out. Word is she plays jazz piano for fun at bars and lounges across Tokyo. So at least that's the last I heard in like 2013. So I don't know if she's still doing that, but a lot of people, a lot of other composers really respect her, and that's how we know anything about her is word from other folks. The song is Eternity Memory of Light Waves. There are a lot of different ways that one's been translated, but Gio, you got that one correct. And of course, yes, Final Fantasy X-2 is the game. And Matsueda worked on this and with her husband Takahito Eguchi as a team. They worked on a number of games together. They worked on Racing Lagoon together. They worked on The Bouncer together. So yeah, very cool person, very cool music. All right, ready for number 4? I think this is an exciting one. You guys
Let's
ready?
go.
All right. All right. So here's the hint. This composer was the subject of Rhythm Encounter's most recent Composer Spotlight episode. She is perhaps best known for her work on the long-running series whose name makes up part of its own unique subgenre. Here's the song. All right. Looks like people know some stuff here. Yes. So that was, I want to make sure before I say anything, everyone's got their stuff in. Gio, I see what you got. That's good. All right. So both of you knew the game and the composer. The game, of course, Castlevania Symphony of the Night, and the composer, of course, the venerable Michiru Yamane, who, I boast about how awesome her YouTube channel is every time I mention her name. The song is Woodcarving Partita. Gio, you said Royal Library. That is the place where it's from, but I'm not going to give it to you because I don't think it's ever listed as that anywhere, and you're ahead. So,
no worries.
One of the trickier song titles to get, I think.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite song titles, though. That's how I remember it for its weirdness.
It's a very Bach song title too.
Yes, it's yes, a partita. Like I only know that title because of Bach. Yeah, and it's it's a partita. It's a Baroque style song, and it's very good. All right, so we're gonna do a twist with this next one. This next one is not about the composer or composers, because it just so happens the composer is a dude, and we're talking about the ladies. But I think you guys are going to be able to get some of this one. For this one, you can get a total of 4 points. So here's the hint. While this music was written by a gentleman, part of the Monaka sound team, the song features 2 vocalists. You can earn a total of 4 points if you can name the game, the song, and the names of the 2 vocalists. Good luck. Oh, I get chills every time I hear that.
Right.
I'm blanking on one of the names of the singers for some reason.
Well, send what you got.
Okay.
And also, hooray, Hilary.
Yeah, don't even sweat it, Gio. Like so much already on things I should know. Like,
all right, what's Gio got here? Okay, Gio has 3 of 4. Good job, Gio. And Hilary has all 4. The game is Nier Automata. The song is A Beautiful Song. And the vocalists are Emmy Evans and Janique Nicole.
There we go.
Yeah. Woo. So, yeah, everyone got everything except Gio. Looks like you couldn't remember Emmy Evans, which I'm going to tell her that you forgot.
Oh, no. He can do that, too.
I could. I'm not going to.
You wouldn't, because you're too good of a person.
No.
You have the power, which is scary.
Yeah. But yeah, that's when I thought we're going to have a category where we're saying, let's hear it for the ladies. It's like, you got to have Emmy and Janique.
You got it. Yeah, for sure.
And I think some, if not all of us, have seen them in concert on the show. Yeah. Is that correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
I think all of us.
Right?
Yeah. We are all very, very fortunate people for that alone.
We are. Yeah. And I think, where did I hear in early 2025, even though the 12024 concert should technically end in 24, they're doing another show in 25. Is it in Seoul, South Korea, I think?
Oh, really?
So they might do a couple more shows. So everyone, keep your eyes and ears out. It was an incredible concert. If you get the chance to see it, it's a must see. They do such a good job.
Yeah.
It's Eric Roth, like Arnie and Eric Roth, like AWR Entertainment. They have been producing the tour internationally, the End of Data tour. Same folks that are also running the FF7 Rebirth Orchestra tour. They do such a great job. So
yeah, and to be clear, they are not sponsoring this podcast, despite how that sounded. I would not say no if they wanted to. So if any of you are listening, please reach out. You can reach us at music@rpgfan.com.
Yeah, Square Enix, AWR, anyone you want to,
come on, Eric and Arnie.
Yeah,
these guys are great. They are great. I mean, they produced the Distant Worlds albums.
Yeah.
They're good folks.
This is a little off topic, but just really quickly, honestly, between Distant Worlds and now that I've been to a recording or a performance of a New World, I might even like a New World a little bit more than Distant Worlds. if anyone like ever made me choose one, A New World is really, really great.
I've heard that A New World is better live. Like the recordings are, at least the first one, the recording's a little weak. I haven't heard the third one yet. If they've improved in terms of how they record it, that would be cool. I do like the chamber music approach. Anyway, we're coming in to our sixth and final question in our second category. This is another bonus question, double points. This is a hard one.
You gave everyone this panel an easy time, and I will let it be known that I tried to talk Pat out of this one. So I'm sorry, but let's see what happens.
If you've paid attention to every soundtrack review I wrote this year, then you might know it. That's the best I can give you.
Okay.
Or if you spend a lot of time on like Facebook and Twitter, you might have run into her, because this is a composer who, I think this game was her first time having an RPG relevant game. A lot of her work is not RPG-ish, but this one is. Here we go. The Grammy nominated American composer featured here has also worked on such franchises as Little Big Planet, God of War, and early Assassin's Creed. In 2024, she composed the music for this game, which is a top-to-bottom remake of one of the oldest classic computer RPGs there is. Good luck! Guesses are
Wild
good.
Guess.
I am absolutely giving that to you, Hilary. Wow, we're getting all sorts of fun things. Anyway, okay, so the composer is Winifred Phillips.
Yes, okay, that's her last name.
And Winifred Phillips. And the game is the remake of the original Wizardry. The full title is Wizardry: Proving Grounds of the Mad Overlord, which, good on you for knowing that full title, Gio. That is the name of the very first Wizardry game. And that remake did come out this year. And when I said Grammy nominated, it's for this album. Grammy now has a category just for video game music. And if you look at the list, it's like 4 like AAA studio big titles, and it's all like Lorne Balfe and like I think like Hans Zimmer's in there, and it's like, what, you didn't get enough in film score, you have to go do games too. But the fifth one is this, a little more humble but very exciting, Winifred Phillips on the Wizardry remake. So I wanted to include this because I think she's an incredible composer and a lot of people don't know about her. So y'all heard 20 seconds of her music, and I think this soundtrack is free. I think you can go to Bandcamp and just download it for free.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
that's awesome.
Maybe you should.
Also, it looks like she wrote a really cool... The reason I remember her is because she wrote a really cool book on video game music composition that I'm intending to read.
Yeah, she wrote like the textbook on it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like schools, game design schools use that as a textbook. Yeah. So I didn't mention earlier, the song title is Gilgamesh's Tavern. Probably my favorite song off of the OST. It really expands and sort of explores that kind of Renaissance vibe beyond this. Kind of reminds me of like my favorite tracks from like Fable 2 and 3. So yeah, very much like it.
How does it, I'm just curious personally, but how does it compare to the original version? Does the original still have that like really cool like tavern feel?
So when you say original, 1981 Wizardry didn't have a soundtrack.
Oh, there you go. Then never mind.
When it came to Japan in 87, that's when Japan started doing all their like Japanese exclusive soundtracks for the games by Kentaro Haneda. And his style was very it was like Dragon Quest but darker. So a very, very different approach. I really love the Japanese Wizardry stuff. Kentaro Haneda, until he passed away, did incredible work. And now like Base Escape, who we mentioned before, has been doing new stuff. Wizardry Variants Daphne just came out. It's a mobile game, so meh, but I'm kind of interested in the soundtrack. So, but it's so cool to have the original Wizardry, more than 40 years later, come back and have this really cool style and really cool sound.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So let's take a look at the score. Somebody is making a major comeback. The highest total possible points, if you were super crazy and knew every single thing, you could have a total of 26 points right now. Geo is close to that still. Geo has 20.5 points.
Ooh.
But Hilary, you made a major comeback. You went from 2.5 to 13.
Oh,
not
okay.
bad, not bad.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we are now ready for round 3. One of the ones I'm most excited about, even though I know it's going to be difficult, but one of my favorite things on the Retro Encounter quiz shows is always this, that, or the other, where Solosi would take just things and terms from different series, and you'd have to guess which they are. And I don't realize sometimes how similar, a Persona spell or a Pokemon or all the other different ones he's done sound to each other until they're thrown all together. And I'm like, oh, shoot, which is which? So we're doing that now, but musically. So round 3 is this, that, or the other Sakuraba edition. And in this category, everyone has to choose if the song you're hearing is from, we're limiting it to 2 series. Technically, it's either going to be Star Ocean, Tales, or Other. So anything besides Star Ocean or Tales. So we'll have 10 songs, and each one is worth 1 point. No bonus. Just this is a quick, if you get the series or not.
Okay, this is a challenge because I don't really listen to Sakuraba.
Yeah, but just remember, it's just Star Ocean, Tales, or Other, so you got a 1 out of 3 every time.
That's true.
Good chances here. Statistically, you should be taking home at least 3 points.
Yeah, and we're not doing hints. So actually, we didn't
no
really
hints.
talk.
It's just the music.
Well, here is track 1. Remember, you're guessing Star Ocean, Tales, or Other. And if you want to mention what the other is, if you know it, that's fine. But either way, you're correct.
Say whatever you think you know, but all we care about is getting one of these 3 things.
All right, here we go.
All right, looks like we already tricked someone. Gio went for Star Ocean, but it's the other half of that tri-ace sound style. That was Valkyrie Profile. Confidence in the Domination is the song.
My goodness.
So Hilary, good job saying. Hilary didn't just say Other. She said Valkyrie Profile. She knew it.
Nice.
So go team.
Of course she did. Yeah.
Aww.
All right.
I heard that battle theme a lot. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, here's number 2.
All right. And we reversed it.
Oh, I was just about to.
Hilary said that's Valkyrie Profile again. No, it's not.
I was just about to change.
That is okay. You can't change it. That is Star Ocean 2. Star Ocean, the second story.
There's
the
a
song
is profile song that sounds like it.
Yeah. I know. They came out like a year apart. That was intentional. That was Sacred Song, one of my favorite town themes from Star Ocean 2. Probably top 10 in my favorite all-time slow jams from Sakuraba.
So similar to the Valhalla song.
Yeah, I know. I'm mean.
I'm just gonna vote Star Ocean 10 times. Statistically, I'm gonna get something right.
I mean, maybe, probably. All right. Next up, let's see what we got. All right, that's a point for each of you. That is indeed a Tales game. That was Tales of Exilia.
Yay.
The song is called Clenching the Fist. I think it's the standard battle theme, and it's one of my favorites from recent Tales titles. Exilia is recent, right? Like last 10 years, maybe?
At this point, yeah.
Has it really?
I mean, I guess you can probably say it's within the last 10 games. It's recent in that context.
Yeah.
Since there's like more and more, there's more years between series games these days, you know?
Right. Because from 2000 to 2010, they were doing like a game every 6 months. So
right.
Wild.
Yeah. All right. We got another one loaded up. Right. Let's see how you do. All right, the crew has been stumped. Gio said Star Ocean. Hilary said Star Ocean. It is an other, actually. This is one of our others. This is Resonance of Fate, known as End of Eternity in Japan. Resonance of Fate was half composed by Kohei Tanaka, and then the other half was composed by Motoi Sakuraba, and this song was Freud Remnants Section B. This is actually one of my favorite, really sort of underrated PS3 games. The battle system was insane, but I loved it.
Yeah.
It all involved triangles, running around in triangles. It was wild.
I like triangles.
There's one song from that soundtrack I like. The Mall song.
Oh, yeah. That's a good track. Yeah, 6 discs. That was,
wow.
Nowadays, 6 discs is common, but back then it was pretty rare.
Yeah.
All right. Now we're ready for the 5th track, which is a super special track, right, Mike?
Exactly.
Because it only came into existence very recently.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's the song is older than that. It's
so you're confused. You're trying to throw in an inside joke that no one's going to get who's listening.
Yeah, this isn't
and
a
now
recent
you confused
game.
Everyone. It's not a recent
game. This was me not clipping the audio in time, but we got it now.
Okay, here we go.
Let's do it. All right. Hilary got it right. It is a Star Ocean title.
Nice.
So, sorry, Gio went with Tails. Good guess. That song is Fly Away in the Violet Sky from Star Ocean 3, a.k.a. Star Ocean Till the End of Time.
So it's not even, oh my gosh, it's not even from the album I was thinking of. Wow, okay.
I know the one you're thinking of. Yeah, I don't think that went beyond Star Ocean and Star Ocean 2, yeah. All right, so y'all are doing great so far on this one. Honestly, I think this is a hard category, and y'all are having fun. I love it. All right, this 6th song, this might be my favorite one on the whole list, but let's see. Take it away, Mike. So other is the correct answer, though. When you said it sounds like Souls, no, it's not a Dark Souls title. But you still...
I could see that, though.
Yeah, I know, right? You did pick other, which is correct. This is from one of my favorite games on the PS Vita, Exist Archive, which was sort of a Valkyrie profile clone in terms of the combat system anyway, and the 2D exploration, side-scroll exploration. But incredible underrated game. The song is Star of Administrator from Exist Archive. I loved, when I was digging up tracks for this one, I was like, oh yeah, that's a good one.
That's the soundtrack. I need to listen to that soundtrack more. I don't know enough of it, but that was really pretty. Really subtle.
It's almost as good as Valkyrie Profile. I really believe that.
Wow.
a notch below for me. All right, we got 4 more to go. Let's hear how it sounds. Go ahead, Mike.
Are you okay over there, Hilary?
Yes.
Okay, you can do it. I think I'm not looking at the scores right now, but I think you're both doing well.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Doing very well right now.
Here's track 7.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know what this one is, don't you, Gio?
Yeah.
The way you said "oh" immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell us what it is, Gio.
Oh, it's Tales of the Abyss. It's one of the battle themes.
Yes, the battle theme is called "The Arrow Was Shot" from Tales of the Abyss. I can't remember if that's standard or boss battle, but yeah, great track from Tales of the Abyss. And it looks like you both got that one.
Sales, yay.
Very cool. All right.
Yay.
Let's see how we do on this next one. Go ahead, Mike. I got one guess in. If our ears are sharp, we might be able to guess at what era that's in, which is important, but we'll get to that later.
All right, I'm just going to go with my first guess.
Okay, Hilary puts in a guess, and unfortunately wasn't in.
Yeah,
it was not Star Ocean, though it could have been, because they're very similar. Gio correctly guessed Tales. That was the song Take Up the Cross from Tales of Fantasia in its original Super Famicom form. And I will say, if you listen to the original Star Ocean 1 in its Super Famicom form, it sounds so similar to Tales of Fantasia, it is very difficult to tell them apart. So
that was my struggle. I was trying to figure out which of those two I thought it was.
Yeah. Well, good guess. Good try. We got 2 more to go. All right. Yes. Okay. So yeah, next one.
Are you okay over there, Pat?
I'm all right.
Okay. All right, here we go.
All right. You both get it. It is, in fact, Star Ocean. And the reason I laughed and stumbled is because I forgot just after talking about Tales of Fantasia. This is from Star Ocean First Departure. So this is the remake and thus upgraded audio from the first Star Ocean. But the track is Mission to the Deep Space. And this was a bit of a tricky one because Mission to the Deep Space, though it was first written for Star Ocean, is used not only in multiple Star Ocean titles, but it's also been used in more than one Valkyrie profile game, as well as Exist Archive. So I was half willing to accept other if someone said it, just wouldn't have accepted Tales.
All right. Well, I was trying to think what I would have guessed if I didn't know, and I would have guessed Valkyrie profile. But now I see why.
Yes, it's actually in Valkyrie profile. Yeah, Mission to the Deep Space is part of a bonus endgame content.
I was going to say, is it in the Seraphic Gate?
It might be.
Oh, I can see that, yeah.
That is the bonus endgame area, yeah.
Yes, that's correct. Yes, and they did the same thing with the bonus area in Exist Archive.
Well, that's because they brought Assyria Queen and Gabriel Celeste in.
Yep. That's why that music's there.
Nice.
Very cool. Very cool. All right, our last one. I'm excited about this one. Let's see how we do. Oh, that one's beautiful. Gio, I want to ask, do do you know the specific game, or did you guess that one?
I guessed that one.
Yeah, we'll see if you got it. Okay, Hilary, do you know what that one was?
No.
No. Well, you both correctly guessed other, which is the safe thing to do when we don't know. That was from another of my cherished Sakuraba soundtracks. That is from Baten Kaitos Origins, the second of the Baten Kaitos games. That is the opening music, Le Ali del Principio. I think I'm saying that correctly. So, wow, really exciting round. Hilary, you brought in 7 of 10 possible points, and Gio, you brought in 6 of 10 possible points. So now the score is 20 for Hilary and 26.5 for Gio out of a possible 36 total.
Yeah.
So, wow, we have ourselves a game. This could be anyone's game, and the next 2 categories are pretty wild.
Yep.
I'm feeling real good about them.
No, you guys did awesome.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if your guess is, like you said, Gio, is the statistical average, you're going to get 3 or 4 points. To get more than that suggests you know a thing or two. So getting 6 or 7 out of the 10 on that means you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And I must say, like, I came away from that round more Sakuraba pilled.
And I apologize for not including any Souls. I know that, of recent work, his work on the Dark Souls games is pretty well known. And I apologize for not including it.
No worries. I would have been easier for me, though. Because, like, hey,
I was going to say, Gio would have known it.
Yeah.
You might, I mean, Hilary, you've brought Dark Souls music onto Rhythm Encounter, so you might have too.
Oh, yeah. I remember Firelink Shrine.
I did bring the Firelink Shrine. I like that song.
All right. Well, Mike, do you want to get them ready for round 4? This one's exciting.
I do like this one. Yeah. All right. So round 4 is Final Fantasy arrangements. Ooh. So what we're doing is playing arranged music from Final Fantasy arranged albums. So these are exclusively we had to put some kind of limit just to because there's too much to pick from. So these are exclusively from the main numbered games, 1 through 16 only. So we didn't do anything too bizarre. Although if there is a cool arranged album of like Crystal Chronicles or something, that would be fun. But no, we didn't do that to you. So this is like the first couple rounds where you get a point for naming the game. The main thing is to name the game. However, you do get a half-point bonus if you know the song title, and another if you know the arranged album name, which I think is the trickiest part of this. So that's why we made the game title the main thing.
Yeah, and obviously no points for composer because most of it is Uematsu. Some of it's not, but too much of it was, so it wasn't even worth including.
Yeah.
Okay.
Free points, I guess, but it wouldn't have changed anything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, can I bump up my score by just
well, yeah, but you could.
So will Gio then, right?
Yeah. Right.
So yeah. The
Let's
game's
just both
the
do
main.
It, Gio.
The game's sure. The game's the main thing, and then if you can do song title, great, and if you can do the album title, super great. And I love every album that we pulled from here. I love all of these, so I hope maybe some of you guys know these as well. And listeners at home, hopefully you guys know some of these albums too. They're really good. And these are, to be clear, these are all official arranged albums. There's no overclock remix, good no point, TPR.
Yeah.
This is like stuff that Square Enix published.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe one day we'll do a harder mode where we include all that stuff.
Yeah, then it would get a little trickier.
Yeah. Okay. So we have 8 songs. Are we ready for the first one?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
All right. Oh man, I gotta listen to that album more. I forgot how great that one is.
Oh, it's so good. Let's see how we're doing. All right. We got song and game on for both of you. The album is Fithos Lusek Vikos Vinosek, which is the FF8 orchestral album that was published like within a year of the game coming out from Square. Good guess with Distant Worlds, though, Hilary. I'm sure they have a recording of it.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it was a fair guess. And yes, you both got the song Blue Fields. That is the overworld early music for FF8. And yes, definitely a favorite of mine. Gosh, that brings back so many memories.
Right. No, it's, I mean, even the original soundtrack for 8 is one of my favorites.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, this next one might be a little harder, but let's see how we do. All right, this was from Final Fantasy II. The song title is Tower of the Magi, and it is on the album Piano Opera Final Fantasy 1, 2, 3, which is the only place where you're going to find official piano arrangements for those 3 Final Fantasy games, at least thus far. So, unfortunately, y'all guessed FF1. Gio, I think you specifically guessed the Gulug Volcano. Nope, it wasn't 1, it was 2, but close.
So Final Fantasy 4 was the first time they started doing like full like single game piano collections.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yep, and then like 15 to 20 years later, Hiroyuki Nakayama started the piano opera albums, of which there are 3. And of which I wish they would do a Romancing Saga trilogy one. That would be great.
Don't say that. Jono might edit this episode. He'll cut that out.
Oh, that's all right, Jono. You can cut it. All right. But valiant effort. I do think that's one of the harder ones on here. Let's see what else we got. This one, we'll see how y'all do with it. I think this is a little easier. So this is where Hilary starts making up the points. Gio, you guessed Final Fantasy V. And Hilary, you guessed, hey, is that Dancing Calcabrina from Final Fantasy IV Celtic Moon? Yes, that's exactly what it is. So full points, Hilary. Very exciting. Celtic Moon is, one of Square's earliest like official arrange albums. They had done a symphonic album for 1 and 2. And I think something for 3, but 4. Wow. I think this album really kind of brought arranged game music sort of into the forefront, at least in Japan. And this is really an all-time favorite. I think it has 3 separate prints. It's still easy to find. So listeners at home, you really ought to check out Celtic Moon. I don't know if it's out on iTunes. Yeah, it's a great album. I don't know if it's out on iTunes. I should check, if they're doing digital streaming for this album, because I wish if they aren't, they should be, because this is worth having in someone's collection. I just think it's so good.
Yeah, no, I mean, Celtic Moon is so good. Like, I understand that they do like different styles for each one, but like I kind of wish they would try this style again with like some other Final Fantasy just to see. It's been one of my favorites like for a long time. So. I don't know that is the most like, I don't know if I would have been able to guess really, really clearly that was from Celtic Moon, like versus some of the other arrangements. So good job, Hilary.
Yeah, good ear.
Okay, this next one, this one's a little tricky, but we'll see how y'all do with it.
Yep. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not ready. I was actually looking because I wanted to be able to tell people if it is available on their YouTube. Because Square has so much on their YouTube. It looks like they have all the piano collections on YouTube now, which I don't know if
that's great.
I realized.
I didn't know that. That's
piano,
great.
Jazz. Unfortunately, the way you have to scroll through their series thing takes a long time now.
Yeah.
No, actually, I don't think they have this on YouTube, but I'm sure there's still ways to listen.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Great album.
Enough of that. We are doing track 4.
And we're on our 4th of 8. Let's see if you guys can get this one. Yeah, both of you guessed Final Fantasy 3, which is interesting. I guess you heard the chip tunes. Geo, Airship Mix Volume 1 as the album is a really cool guess.
Oh, yeah.
So here's the deal. Square Enix, alongside releasing SQ Chips and SQ Chips 2 back in the day, they also did a series of specific chiptune arranged albums for FF7 through 11. So you bought separate albums for 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. And this is from the album Final Fantasy 11 Chips. The song title is Vana'diel March, which is the title screen.
Oh my gosh, I should recognize the Vana'diel March.
What'd you say?
I said I should have recognized the Vana'diel March. I've been on through it with them so many times.
Yeah, that was my thought on this one was if anyone's played more than 10 hours of this old MMO, you know this from just starting up the game.
Pat, have you played more than 10 hours of Final Fantasy 11?
Oh, I think you know. I've played 3,150 hours. That was my last check time before I logged off for good. So
wow.
Yeah, I've put in my fair share. I put in my time. Yeah. So all right, that was a no-go for everyone, but I knew it was a risk running with 11. But valiant effort, and glad you guys are keeping in mind some of the older Final Fantasies because we might hear from them again. We ready for the next one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Roam and ship in search of the place you'd never know. Listen to the wind until you can hear the sign. Roam and ship in front of the gate that closed so tight. Take a rest on the earth until you can find the key. Roam and ship in search of...
Yep. Okay. This is good. All right. Geo guessed Final Fantasy 12. Strong guess. Thinking about this song in 12 warms my heart, but no, that's not quite it.
Yeah, I like that.
Hilary is correct in saying that this is from Final Fantasy 3, and she guessed the song title Roaming Sheep.
Oh my god.
Which is correct.
Wow.
She did, however, think it was from the vocal album Love Will Grow.
Is it from Prey?
It is not from Prey or Love Will Grow. It is from Final Fantasy 3's arranged album for that game, Legend of the Eternal Wind, which would have come out a year before Celtic Moon. So old album.
It totally sounds like Love Will Grow or Prey for sure.
It does.
Yeah.
It absolutely does. That section. It's the first few minutes of track 3 on this 7-track album that kind of meanders. That bit right there is like so memorable. I just love that song so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I first heard this lumped in with a bunch of other music from Prey and Love Will Grow, so I bet
Oh yeah,
that's where I got that from.
And Prey and Love Will Grow are great vocal albums too. Really would love to see. They tried doing it again in like 2005 with an album called Mahoroba. That was their like 3rd song album. But I would love for them to do a vocal album like Prey or Love Will Grow using all of FF1 through 16. That would be like chamber music plus vocalist.
That'd be cool.
Ooh.
And make it Emmy Evans. Well, there's a lot of great vocalists. I mean, you could do it with a lot of people.
Yeah.
But would love to see something like that again.
This is where I have to, at least since we're talking about arrangements and Final Fantasy 3 stuff, I have to continue, as I always do, get a plug in and mention that people should listen to Final Fantasy 3 Four Souls. It's a very, very short album, came out on vinyl first. I don't know if it was digital at the same time, but we got it as a vinyl, and it's so good. There's only like 4 arrangements, but really, really pretty.
Oh yeah, the Four Souls album. That was such a cool concept.
Yeah.
That's a great album.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I should have done that. That's a good one. All right.
I would have recognized that immediately, and it would not have been fair.
Yeah.
Because you have it.
It's gotten a lot of play. Yeah.
Yeah,
no doubt. All right, well, we got 3 more to go in this section, and we'll see how you guys do with this next one. It's pretty exciting.
All right.
All right, looks like you both knew what game it was from, which is good. That is, in fact, Final Fantasy XIV. Unfortunately, it is not Footsteps. It is To the Edge. It can be found on the Shadowbringers Death Unto Dawn album.
I have to credit Tin. That's the only reason why I know it's from FF14.
You kind of know the primal sound.
Why do I always confuse Footsteps?
You know what though? There is.
I'm just glad you both knew it was 14.
Yeah, no, there's a similar sound because, like, chronologically, this is one of the last major things right before Endwalker. So, like,
before Footsteps released,
there is a sound. Things are very close together timeline wise between like the end wrap up of Shadowbringers and going into Endwalker. So that's why you would think that.
Yeah.
And also, like, the Endwalker main theme uses motifs from all the other expansions. So,
right.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah, the musical continuity there is huge.
Yeah. Can you guess what my contribution to this round was? What did you have in this? This is like the only thing in this whole round I suggested to Pat. Like, let's change. Oh no, you had 14.
But it wasn't as good a track. I think I had Under the Wave.
You had Fallen Angel.
Oh yeah, that's right.
The Garuda theme, which is great. Yeah. But I was being
an older one.
Yeah, I wanted To the Edge because it's one of my favorites.
Yeah. Well, there's so many good.
Yeah.
Oh, so many good.
Oh,
yeah, Mike, how many hours do you have in 14?
I haven't checked recently. It is, funnily enough,
4 digits, I'm sure.
Well, last time I checked, it was somewhere in the 3,000 hours, like your Final Fantasy 11. Yeah. I'll check. I'll check again. That was. I might not have checked since before Endwalker, so we'll see. All right, let us go to track 7. Are we ready?
Oh, this is a good one.
Yeah.
All right. I think we have some gears going. We got a game title and a song from Geo. You're going to guess an album?
No.
Okay. Hilary, same question. I see a game and a song title. You're going to guess an album?
No.
It's had so many arrangement albums.
Yeah.
I get it.
All right. Well, the tricky part for both of you, this was from the first of 3 albums by a group called the Black Mages, which was the Final Fantasy rock band that Uematsu led before he left Square Enix and started the Earthbound Papas. And so from this first Black Mages album, this is, of course, Genova from Final Fantasy VII, which both of you had like immediately. And yes, what a fantastic and immediately recognizable song.
I'm always torn between, like, I'll start with this part because I'd rather end on a positive note, but I'm always a little bummed that there are only 3 Black Mages albums. On the other hand, I'm so glad we have the Black Mages albums because they're so good.
Yeah, I think 2 is my favorite of the 3, but it's hard to say.
Yeah, the second one is fantastic. Tragically hard to find. Last time I looked, like, I don't think you can get them anywhere. I don't think they're available. Yeah. You can't get them digitally. It's a shame because they're wonderful.
Yeah, I think that there's probably like rights holder stuff tied up in it.
I guess so, yeah.
Because they were like, one was published by Universal and then one was published by Square Enix, but then not. Like it was, and then one was published by Dog Ear Records.
Really? Oh, okay.
Wasn't the third one published by Dog Ear Records?
The third one is the one I know the least about. In fact, I don't think I've even heard the whole thing.
It's not as good, but it's still great. It's just not as good as 1 and 2.
Yeah, 1 and 2 are great.
Yeah. Okay. All right, but good job, both you guys, just nailing it on that one. And I think we're going to close out with another good one. We'll see if you guys know this. It's a little wonky, but we'll see what you think.
All right. I like this one, though.
Yeah, same. Well, Hilary, what you wrote makes me assume you know the name of the game, but technically you do need to also write that too.
Okay, I'm getting it right now.
Okay. But yeah, you guys definitely know your stuff. This is great. This is, in fact, from Final Fantasy VI. This is, in fact, the character theme, Realms theme. What a great one. Geo, good guess on the album. It is not from the Final Fantasy Bra Bra Brass album.
Oh,
It is, in fact, from Final Fantasy VI Grand Finale, published in 1994.
Nice.
I always remembered this track because I remember one of our first fearless leaders, Eric Ferrand, or Rudo, would always complain about how much he hated the bagpipe there. But I always thought it sounded so cool.
Oh, he's wrong.
Yeah. But he always made fun of this part of the album. I was like, this is like, it is a little irksome, but like, no, it's great.
Grand Finale.
I mean, yeah. I don't know. I always thought that kind of suited her character a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And Grand Finale is a very interesting album as well.
Yes.
Has a lot of like Eastern European influence.
One of the first video game arrange albums I bought, actually.
Yeah. And arranged by Shirasagisu, who did all of the Evangelion music. Ooh. You can kind of pick up on some of the influence in the way he orchestrates for anime in this album. So, very cool.
That explains the random bagpipes. I'm just kidding.
I don't know that he's ever done that. But he has cool instrumentation ideas.
I'm thinking more like the extended version of No Need to Promise from Escaflowne.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Totally. All right. Well, we have reached the end of round 4, and it is mighty close. It is. We have ourselves a real game right here. Hilary, how many points do you think you have right now?
I don't know. I've lost track.
Gio, how many points do you think you have right now?
Less than Hilary does.
You actually have more, but just barely. Hilary, you're at 29.5, just at almost 30. Gio, you're at 32.
Ooh.
Nice.
And if you were a crazy whiz kid, the highest possible you could have at this point is 52 points. Okay. So compared to perfect, you're both still doing quite good. Honestly, very impressed. So this next section, this is a really fun one that I hinted at briefly earlier. You want to tell them about it, Mike?
No. I mean, yes. All right. So for our last full round today, this is called Know Your Eras. This is an extra points category. So what we're doing is you have to describe the era of music or era of gaming that a song is from. So how it works is that you get 2 points for naming we're letting them choose console or generation, right? Yeah. So,
there's 3 basic eras. Yeah.
Yeah. So like there's 3 answers we're accepting, which is 8-bit, 16-bit, or 32 and beyond.
Okay.
So, 8-bit would be NES and Game Boy, 16-bit, of course, Super Nintendo Genesis, and 32-bit plus would be anything else, because after that
everything
we have
else.
Higher quality audio, live recordings and stuff. So, yeah. So we're looking for 8, 16, or 32 and beyond. So those are your 3 choices. So you get 2 points for that because it's a bonus point category, but also you can get 1 more bonus point for naming anything else about the song. So whether that's the game, the song title, or the composer.
Yeah, which, you could guess different things, right? You could be like, oh, I think it's Nobuo Uematsu, so you guess Uematsu, but you could hedge your bet and be like, oh no, the game is Castlevania Symphony of the Night, because you think it's one or the other. You can guess all sorts of stuff. You only need to get one of those 3 bits of data right, and you get an extra point.
All right.
Because I'm not giving 3 extra points. It's 1 point if you know just one of those things.
So it's 1 extra point if we know 1 extra thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. But we can't bank tons of extra points.
No. If you mention, I'm sure Pat will read them out if you got them. So you get
if you super know a song, that's cool.
Yeah. And we'll give you kudos, but not points.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, I had it somewhere in here. I had to make a reference to actually. It's like the shiny rounds, shiny questions, and actually, where people have to guess like 17 things or whatever, but it's only worth 1 point. Yeah. So still, max of 3 points per question here. So, all right. Are we ready for the first one? I'll take that as a yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, what do we got coming in? Okay, everybody knows that is 8-bit music right there. So we're talking NES or Game Boy. It is in fact a Game Boy one, and Gio knew what it was. It's Final Fantasy Adventure.
Oh wow!
That's
Nice.
endless battlefield. The sort of world map main exploration theme from that game, and it's by Kenji Ito. Hilary, you guessed Dragon Quest.
Nah.
I would be impressed if Dragon Quest ever had music that awesome, but
no, Gio's gonna get mad at you. Don't do that.
Of that style. I mean, can you imagine Koichi Sugiyama writing a song like that? I can't. He doesn't do that. Well, he didn't do that. Rest in peace, Koichi Sugiyama. I'm getting myself in trouble. I'm just going to be quiet and let's do the next one.
Okay, here we go.
Okay. You are both correct with the era. That is modern era. Specifically, it was utilized on the Nintendo 3DS because this is from Fire Emblem Awakening.
I see.
By Rei Kondo. The song is called Don't Speak Her Name, and I would like to give a shout out to someone we've had on Rhythm Encounter before, 8-Bit Music Theory. He did a whole episode analyzing this song. Like, it's this 8-minute song that's like brilliant. So I thought it was worth sharing. It's a great one.
I have not seen that one yet.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Can I
go
get
ahead, Gio.
Clarification?
Sure.
What are we supposed to mention again? It's like the era, and like one thing.
Era's the 2-pointer, and then if you can say any one thing about what the song is, what game it's from, who wrote it, you can guess.
Okay.
Any of those, any one of them.
And you can do multiples of it. You'll only get credit for one.
Right.
I see.
But if you're not sure, you can guess. You can put multiple things in to see if you get any of them right.
Right. So Gio, like on the first one, if you had told me that's from Final Fantasy Adventure and the name of the song is Wood Carving Partita and it's by Michiru Yamane, you still would have gotten the point because you knew it was FF Adventure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's how much leeway you got to try and pick up that bonus point. But you both got that it was modern era, so good. So things are going pretty smooth so far. I'm excited to see what you guys think of this next one. This is a good one for me.
All right, let's do it.
Let's see what comes in. Ooh, Gio. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Gio. All right, what's Hilary got?
Probably less interesting, but I'm curious to hear.
Oh, that's wild. You get a bonus point.
Yay!
But you don't get the main thing.
Oh gosh. Okay.
That was 16-bit. That came from the Super Nintendo.
I had the exact thought of like, this could be at the end of the Super Nintendo's lifespan, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, but Hilary, you said I'm going to guess Saga, and I'm giving you a bonus point for that. It is Romancing Saga 2's Final Battle by Kenji Ito.
I see.
Lufia 2 was a good guess, Gio, but it was not Lufia. And I'm just putting it out there. there is no more Kenji Ito and no more Saga from here on out. So Jono, you can relax.
Well, I like the Lufia guess though. I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah. Makes me wish I had included some Lufia. I don't think I did. No, I didn't. There, you guys know there's no Lufia for these next 3 questions. All right. So
careful. Now that they know there's no Lufia, no Saga, it's going to make it really easy.
Yeah. There's only so much out there.
Yeah.
Ruling out 2 games. Yeah. Well, this next one, we'll see how much this one stands out to you guys. Bit of a dance party track there.
I really need you to explain the context behind this one for us when we're done with guessing.
Oh, I absolutely will. Ooh, that's a good guess, Hilary. So you both got the era right. It is modern. It is specifically 32-bit. It is a PS1 game. Or no, Gio, you didn't guess 32-bit, but you did guess modern, so you're good. Gio guessed Yakuza 3. Interesting choice.
Oh.
I could see it in a Yakuza game.
I could, yeah.
And then and Hilary guessed Persona, which is I could really hear this in Persona 1. This is actually from Legend of Legaia. And the song is called, and it's by Michiru Oshima. The song is called Wanna Wanna. And it's in sort of a mini game area near the end of the game, kind of like Golden Saucer and FF7. And this is a press along with the buttons DDR style mini game. So it's like a dance game that your characters can go in and win points and money and stuff.
Yeah.
So apparently the song is recently found a mini revival on TikTok as just silly music that you put in for, you know how randomly people will be like, we're just using this song for this dumb thing.
Yeah.
Huh. Apparently 101 has been making a TikTok comeback.
Weird. Of all things.
Right? It's wild. Okay. These next 2, I will say one of these 2 I expect you guys to get, and the other one I'll be impressed if you get. But we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Number 5.
Okay, and as I predicted, both Gio and Hilary know what's up, because of course that was from Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link, which is 8-bit era. Hopefully everyone listening at home knew that one as well. It's a classic. I think a lot of people know it, if nothing else, from it being in Smash Brothers. That's such a good stage.
Dozens dozens of hours in Smash Brothers on that stage.
Yeah. Oh, I love that stage so much. But I mean, also if you've played the original game, I mean, there's only 10 songs total in the whole game, and I think it's the best song on the whole soundtrack.
Yeah.
It was not written by Koji Kondo. This was by Akito Nakatsuka, because a different team than sort of the normal Nintendo R&D one handled this game, which I think anyone could tell. It's a different kind of game. But Temple BGM. It's a classic. Zelda 2, baby. Absolute classic. I'm glad you guys knew that one. This next one, I will say, I don't think I could get this one if someone asked me to get it, but some people...
Oh, no.
But we'll get in... Well, maybe you guys will. I'll get into that after we play it.
I would love to pipe dream remake here, Zelda 2. I've seen some people doing sort of 3D remakes where they're still using the sprites, so it's 3D with big chunky sprites, and I've seen some concepts and stuff, and they're all interesting, but I would love to see what they could do with this, because conceptually Zelda 2 is very interesting.
Yeah, there is so much to it that if you really kind of built up and around out of it, it does have so much going for it.
Yeah.
In terms of story and setting. And there's just, I think it's just so good.
Yeah. Okay. Not to delay us, so let us now go to track number 6.
All right, this is our final one for the section and our second to last question. So here we go. Yeah, that one's pretty interesting, right?
Yeah.
It's a head scratcher.
Man, I mean, this episode's like really, I find it really like personally like enriching because like it's like getting to peer in your brain back.
Well, this isn't peering into my brain, actually. I picked this one thinking about other people on staff and people I've known in the past who, I think this is one where if you grew up with this game, you would have nailed this right away. And otherwise, yeah, probably not.
I know I didn't.
Yeah, I didn't. I played it like a decade ago just to finally say I played it. But, I'm thinking back to like the old school folks, right? Like Eric and like Damien and all of them, like, they worshipped this thing. Okay, so looks like we're only getting eras in, which is fine. Geo guessed modern / 32-bit, and Hilary guessed 16-bit, and it is in fact 16-bit. No one guessed at the game, which is fine. The game was Phantasy Star 4. The song is Motavia Field or Field Motavia, which is like world map music by Izuho Ippo Takeuchi. So if you grew up with Sega Genesis and played Phantasy Star 4, you probably knew that one. I was a Nintendo kid, sadly, but it's a great soundtrack. There is that Phantasy Star Complete album that has 1 through 4 in a big box set that Wavemaster released like a decade ago. People, if you really like Phantasy Star, that is an album to have. It is very good.
They did magic with that sound chip because it didn't sound like a Genesis.
Genesis is tricky. They do. There's some ways in which if they try to emulate a lot of your sort of orchestral winds and brass, it comes out ugly as hell. Like it can't do what Super Nintendo does there. But there are ways in which, especially in sort of their synthy and like try to sound like a rock band, like electric guitar and bass and all that, like that comes out more naturally on Genesis than it does on a Super Famicom chip.
Yeah, it was really interesting listening to that.
Yeah. So yeah, Genesis has some good stuff though, and I mean, I just did trash talk its ability to do orchestral stuff, but Shining Force, synth orchestra on there ain't bad either, and it sounds very different than if they had developed that game for Super Nintendo. Like Fire Emblem and Shining Force do not sound at all the same from that era, and that's not just the composer; it's also the hardware. So that's kind of why I wanted to make sure we had a Sega entry on our eras.
Yeah.
16-bit has some different sounds.
Yeah, it was a wild time.
It's one of those blind spots for me. I finally played the first Phantasy Star when they did the Sega Ages release, and I thought it was fun. I mean, it's very simple, but I understand where it's from. And that version was good because it had some like modern things that I appreciated, like a map. But then I went to play Phantasy Star 2, which doesn't have those features. And I found it much more difficult. And I know I don't need to play all of them to experience 4, but I'm just that kind of person. So I'm like, I want to get to 4 because that's what everyone says is the most important one. But I'm like, I have to do them in order. I need to see the evolution.
Yeah, I did them in order, and 4 was without question the best experience of them. But and 2 and 3 were painful. 3 wasn't so bad. It had some weird glitches that I had to read about to like get around, but it was okay. 2 was hard to get through.
It's an encounter rate thing, which is not a problem exclusive to Phantasy Star 2. It's
yeah. Well, if they would just do like the simple porting, quality of life, let me turn off or reduce random encounters, we're good to go.
Yeah,
and speed up all animation, combat, and exploration. You double that speed and we're good.
Yeah. All right. How'd everyone do?
Oh my gosh. Everyone did great. And in terms of our, the difference between our two contestants. It's the exact same as it was last time, though. It's a 2.5 point difference. Gio is still ahead by 2.5 points. Hilary, you have 41.5. Gio, you have 44. And for those keeping track, if you got every single question right up till now, you would have 70 points. So both of you are more than half, which is, in my opinion, that's passing, because this is some hard stuff.
I can't imagine someone getting that many points at this point. Like, some of this is really tricky.
Yeah, and to be completely honest with you, I think if someone else had written this quiz and I were sitting here as a contestant, I would be below Hilary, because I just freeze up sometimes. Even if I know it doesn't matter. It doesn't show up. So yeah. Now things are about to get a little tricky, because we're about to go Jeopardy style. We're about to wager points, and you're not going to tell each other what you wagered, which makes it fun. So you can wager up to and including all of your points, or none of your points if you think you're not going to get it. All I'm going to do is give you a one-word topic. And so after I say that word, you guys decide how much you want to wager on whether you get the question right or not. And then that's going to determine who wins this whole thing, okay?
Okay.
So the topic is chrono. So send me through direct message how much you're willing to wager on a chrono.
I'll wager... I'm not going to say it. Yeah. Sorry.
It's really a good thing for you, Pat, that I'm not a contestant in this episode, because I would have a hard time resisting just sending you as my wager. Suck at Trebek.
Suck at Trebek. Even when the hint's chrono, shouldn't you go all in, because you probably know it?
I would still wager, but I would have to.
But you would I would still have to
say
Trebek.
That, because there's some of my favorite old bits in that.
Yeah. Classic SNL. Yeah. All right, so we have our wagers in, and these are good wagers. These numerically, they make sense. I like them. So are we ready for the question?
Do we need to answer in the form of a question?
No.
No.
Okay.
But you are going to type in your answer.
Yeah.
Okay.
All you're answering is a song. This is a song title, okay? And the question is as follows. To answer this question correctly, you have to name the song title. Here's a big hint. The name of this song is identical to the title of the Satellaview pseudo-sequel to Chrono Trigger. Go ahead, Mike. All right, those of you listening at home, I hope you know that one. That is the end credits music to Chrono Cross. And the song title is, in fact, Radical Dreamers. The full title has some French part after it, too. We are not expecting anyone to get that. We just wanted Radical Dreamers, which Hilary got, and she wagered 10 points. So she's at 51.5. And Gio got, but he only wagered 3 points. So he goes from 44 to 47, which puts Hilary on top as our winner with 51.5 points.
Wow. Nice.
Wow. What the heck?
Yeah.
I underwagered.
Yeah, you did. You didn't have your chrono confidence in there, man.
Chrono confidence.
That's the true sequel coming out.
Yeah.
We'll announce it in a few years.
Oh, Gio, you deserved that win because of the first round.
No.
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
You both did so good.
Yeah, you both killed it. I'm really impressed.
Yeah. I have to ask a question, because Pat and I went back and forth on this. Our question and hint was like originally very detailed. Was that hint too easy?
It was, because it immediately told me what the song was. Because like if you didn't give us the hint, or I wouldn't have known.
Okay.
I would have known either way. And I could probably sing you that song, actually. But I started typing as soon as, like, halfway through the hint.
That's fair. I mean, ultimately, and, Pat credit to you. Like Pat convinced me. It's like, the hint itself, if you know these games, like is pretty easy. But since it came, you didn't know what it was until after you wagered. I'm like, I think it was a good balance.
Yeah, I like the idea of doing just the hint chrono. People going, oh yeah, most of us know a fair bit about Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross. Let's see what happens. But you have to be bold in your betting to get the maximum out of it. That was kind of my thinking.
I mean, I definitely support that song being on here too, because it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's a classic. Do you remember the first time you heard it and it was like, wait, why is there like black and white footage of reality in my PS1 game?
Yes. That my whole experience with Chrono Cross the first time through, I remember very vividly. It was quite an experience.
Well, you played it import, right?
Especially since I didn't know what was going on. But yes.
You did it without. I mean, did you have like a GameFAQs guide to get you through like menu selection?
I had Ken Chu of RPG Fan as my guide.
That's right. Ken, good dude.
Yeah, he knew. So like every time I was like, okay, what does this mean? Where am I going? Because I don't know the dialogue. Because like there weren't guides yet because it wasn't out in English. At least not
you got it like day one from Japan. I did November of '99.
I did before it was. I don't even know if it was announced to be localized yet.
We're currently celebrating the 25th anniversary of Chrono Cross. It just came out last month, and we just ran that review of Sean Shafansky's Chrono Cross Jazz Range album.
Yes.
This final answer was timed very well.
I mean, well, actually, this is only being recorded like a week before it goes up. So yeah, it was timed pretty well. Be sure to check out that's one of Pat's reviews, by the way. So be sure.
I wasn't thinking about the review. I'm just saying we asked this Final Jeopardy question around the same time as the 25th anniversary of Chrono Cross.
Oh, well, that too.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah. All right. Well, good job, both of you.
Yeah, you both were amazing. I'm so glad you guys were here and willing to do this because it is scary. It's scary putting yourself out there like that.
Yeah, I had a great time. And then congrats to Hilary.
our reigning champion.
Yeah.
I mean, congrats to you both. I mean, that's...
Yeah. Seriously, Dio, thank you for doing this with me and being my fellow contestant.
You both know, you both are very knowledgeable about game music, and some of these were definitely harder than the others. So I was like, I can't wait to see how people are going to answer these. And I was just constantly impressed. Because I don't know how I would have done on a lot of these, even though I feel like I know a lot. But like some of this, I don't know. So maybe next time, Hilary, you and I can switch. Maybe you and Pat can host, and I'll be a contestant, and we'll compare scores.
Yeah. You have to. Yeah, you get like a break, like you don't compete because you were champion. Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that feels right.
Yeah.
And if I'm totally honest, I loved all of the sections, and I thought you did great on all of them. But I really was impressed with the Sakuraba because, again, statistically, it's pulling out 6 and 7 points out of, that's impressive to me. I would have been satisfied with 4 or 5 if I was in your shoes, and you really did a good job.
I also like, and kudos to you for like the songs you picked for that, because it really plays into. It like jokingly plays into like, oh, sometimes I can't tell his stuff apart in certain series, even though most of us know it's like, well, that's because he gets direction of like, we want this to sound like this. But none of that. It was hard to pick where it was from, but I thought there was still a really good variety. Like nothing there really sounded like the other thing. So I think that was a good way of showcasing that.
Yeah, it is really funny that the whole joke is he sounds the same forever, but then you get 10 songs that actually sound very different.
Yes.
And it's just like, oh, which did this one come from? And it is also the case. It's almost like he's, as a composer, he's musically typecast for, like, I want my prog rock. Give me Sakuraba.
Yeah. Well, that was fun.
Tons of fun.
Yeah.
And then on my end, like I didn't write all the questions. So like the setup seemed pretty easy. So I think we should just do this like 3 times a year.
Oh goodness! All right, pressure's on.
I was gonna say, like, if we do this again, and I hope we do, like, I want to be part of it.
Yeah. Do you want to be a contestant again, Gio, or do you want to
tell the other staff that you had such a good time and they should volunteer?
Yes,
I will.
Yeah.
When this comes out, like,
Heck yeah.
Okay.
Heck yeah.
Maybe we'll we'll think about it for 175 or something.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right.
I'd do it.
Cool.
Well, for all of you playing at home, you had a max possible of 140. Did you wager it all after you got your 70 points? I would like to know. And if you want to tell me what kind of score you got, do you want to do the outro, Mike, and then we can tell them how to contact us and all that?
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather them, message our RPG fan channels, but I guess they can message you, but then you have to relay it.
Yeah, you can message the main RPG fan channel. I do use my RPG fan email account, which is pgan@rpgfan.com, but yeah, you can just use, is it music or?
Yeah, I'm getting there. I have a thing. I have a format.
All right, I'll be quiet.
All right. That was super fun. Thank you everyone for listening, and all of you for being here. Pat for putting this together, Salosi for your invaluable knowledge and for inspiring this episode in the first place. A lot went into the prep for this, and I think it paid off. I had a lot of fun. So, coming next on Rhythm Encounter, I would say we're going back to normal episodes after this special one, but actually we're not. Episode 151 is actually an interview with Brandon Boone, known for, a lot of things, but for our purposes, known for his work on Slay the Princess. Really good episode, great interview done by Pat here. So thank you for that, Pat.
Yeah, Brandon was such a fun guest. What a great guy.
Yeah. So look for that soon. This episode, our quiz episode, is going up at a non-standard time. So actually, I don't think it's even going to be 2 weeks before episode 151. So look for that soon. Normally, we post every other Monday. So after our interview episode, we are doing a sequel episode in early 2024. We did an episode called Build Your Own RPG, where each of us had to bring a song from a different RPG and basically assemble a soundtrack for a made-up RPG. So we're bringing that back. This time it's Build Your Own RPG hard mode, where we now have the rule where the song we bring in can't be, it has to be a different category. So we can't bring a town theme for our made-up game's town theme.
That is hard mode.
We have most of our songs already, and I think it's really fun. It's going to be a good time.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So yeah, look forward to that. If you have thoughts on this, if you want to share your score, any ideas for future quiz episodes, we'd welcome all that. I'll get to our social media in a second, but you can also email the show and me at music@rpgfan.com. And if people want to reach you, Pat, what's the best way?
My email's great, pgan@rpgfan.com. I'm also pretty active on Twitter at Gameadactyl, GAME, the letter O, and Dactyl. Good luck with that.
And how about you, Hilary? What's the best way?
Email is the best way, hilary@rpgfan.com.
Okay. And Gio?
Yeah, you can email me at gio@rpgfan.com, or you can reach me on Discord. I am 10B star there, TENBI star.
Nice. Okay. Rhythm Encounter, of course, is not the only show on the RPG Fan Podcast Network. We also have Random Encounter, which posts every other Monday, opposite of us, as well as Retro Encounter, which posts every Thursday. Although this month, Random Encounter, along with Rhythm Encounter, is on a weird schedule because of this special episode and the Game Awards. But when this goes up, Random Encounter will have just done a special episode on the Game Awards. So look forward to that. And then coming up early next week, they are also doing an episode on which should be posted by the time this episode goes live, RPG Fans' most anticipated games of 2025. So that feature is on the site, so check that out, and then there'll be a podcast discussing it. Over on Retro Encounter just this week wrapped up their 2-part game journal on Dragon Quest III. My understanding is the panelists could play either version. So I think we have people playing maybe the original, or maybe everyone's playing the remake. I don't know. I know people on there also already had played the original. So check that out. Coming up on Retro Encounter is the 2024 year in review. That'll be next week. So yeah, Random Encounter, Retro Encounter, and Rhythm Encounter. You can find all of them wherever it is you listen to podcasts. So check them out. You can find RPG Fan on social media, generally at RPGFan.com. So you'll find us on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and Twitter there. On Blue Sky, we're just RPG Fan. We're also on Twitch, YouTube. We have a Discord. All these links are in our show notes. Our website is rpgfan.com, where we post RPG news, reviews, features, and of course, these podcasts as well. Finally, we have our shop. I would say this is a good time for last minute holiday gifting, although I know when this goes up, it's incredibly last minute. But hey, if you want to get someone some RPG Fan merch or our RPG Fan review card collection book, all are gifts that I would recommend, especially the book. It's a lot of fun. So you can find all of those things at rpgfan.com/shop. And if you enjoyed this episode, again, we told you how to reach all of us, but you can also, if you want to review, subscribe, or whatever on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, wherever it is you listen, Spotify, that would mean a lot to us, and we would appreciate it. I think that covers everything. Did anyone have any? We don't have a bonus track today, so does anyone have any final thoughts to share before we go away?
I'm so happy we finally did a quiz show. Thank you.
I hope Rhythm Encounter has 150 more episodes.
Yeah!
And even more than that.
Cheers. Congrats.
Yeah.
Aw. Well, thank you. Thank you all for making this possible. So it was a good time. I would like the show to keep going as long as I can keep running it. So
you got this, Mike. Live forever.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for being here. Again, one last thank you to all of you. Congratulations, Hilary. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you.
We will see you.
I still don't believe it.
And great job, Gio.
I do.
Thank you.
Yes.
Leading the whole way till the end there, man.
Yeah.
That was a dramatic ending.
Yeah, it was.
It was a dramatic ending.
I agree. We will see you soon with our interview with Brendan Boone and Build Your Own RPG Hard Mode, and maybe some other interesting things as Rhythm Encounter goes into 2025. But I'll talk about that in the future. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Pat, I'm missing a song.
From 3.1 to 3.10, you're missing one?
I didn't notice until now as I'm loading them up, but I don't have 3.5.
Okay, hold on one second.
So if you could just put it in the drive.
That's a good thing we're taking the break. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Rhythm 50. Oh, where is that? It's a secret folder, right?
Oh, here, I'll link you to the folder. You have the file, though?
I think so.
I'd
be surprised if I didn't.
Just link it in the podcast channel. Anyway, there you go.
You said 3.5?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. No, that explains a lot. Hold on a second. I can make it happen by the time he gets back.
Oh, you don't even have it.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Oh, shoot.
I'm gonna normalize and cut it right now. Good thing I have this one on my hard drive, so that makes it a little easier.
I'm actually really thankful that Gio had to check his laundry to make this work out.
That's
cool.
good.
We'll just pretend there's some like fun intermission music playing right now.